Hey everybody, I hope we're jumping on. We're going to do a live tonight, so I'm going to get on here and let's see, make sure you're where you're supposed to be on my iPad. See, yep, you're there. So hi everybody, give me a moment and we will get, okay, we'll get on here. All right, there we go. All right, let's get started. I'm glad to hop on here with you tonight, and let's make a new wreath. And I wanted to do something, you know, I get a lot of questions. I'm just gonna move this just a little bit. I get a lot of questions on how do I do this wreath on a 12-inch frame. And so that's what I wanted to show you tonight. I also wanted to show you a new center that I did that I thought was super cute. And so let's go ahead and get started. Let's do the center first though, and then we'll let the back of it dry because we need to put the thing on it to attach. So all this is a 5-inch piece of foam, or not, is it foam, styrofoam, that I get from Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree sells these 2 for $1. And I really like them. I like using them on a lot of my wreaths. You guys have seen me do this so many times. And this is what we're going to use as our base. This is like a jumbo Snowdrift mesh tubing. I found this at Craft Outlet. I've had it forever. I do believe they still have it. So that's a good thing. So let's get started. Let me find the end. Here it is. Okay. So I wanted to make this and not make it with glue. I wanted to use these Quilters Pins. They're 1 1/4 inch. I got these from Hobby Lobby. As you can see, if you look here, it has a T at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start in the middle of what I think is the middle here. And I'm just going to push my pen down onto the tubing at an angle. It's very important that this is at an angle. So, but you know what? I'm going to move this over. It's not very much to the center, so let's move this over just a little bit. All right. So as I'm going to go over that, I'm going to just add more pens as I go. You know what? I'm going to move this out of the way because it gives a glare. We will need that in a moment, but not right now. And I'm just going to add pens as we go. And all you're going to do, let's see, is keep adding pens. Okay? And it's really up to you how tight you put this. And you could even put a little jewel in the middle there. I think that would be really cute. But hi everybody. It's nice to have everybody on tonight. This is also going to be posted to YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube right now, thank you for watching. And make sure you to like and share and subscribe to the channel. And to you all that are watching on Facebook right now, make sure that you subscribe to my Facebook channel, so that you can, it's a good resource so that when you're looking for a certain video to make a wreath, you can find it there. So if you look right there, see how flat I am doing this to the bottom? It's important because I want to make sure that we cover up all of these pens. So we're just going to keep going. And I probably am not going to use this one on, I'm going to use this one tonight because I think, as you can see, I started off a little bit. So make sure you're in that middle. I would start over right now, but we have another one to use, so we'll just use that one. So, I'm sure that a lot of you are already members of Wreath Creators and More, but make sure you join that group. I put the link at the top of the page, and we'll put it in the comments too. Hey everybody. So as you keep going, see, it's not going to go anywhere. You're just, you know, there's no glue to that. And I don't know. I'm not a quilter, but I love those Quilters pens, let me tell you. Because they have that, that flat top, and it just really kind of helps hold things down. So the more I go around here, the less I'm using. And if you want to, I'm going to put this to the side, you can make this tighter, you can make it looser, you know. But this is the jumbo, I want to say it's the Snowdrift mesh tubing. It's probably like $7 or $8, but you're going to get so many centers out of one bag of this stuff. I believe it's what, 30 yards or maybe 20 yards. So as you see, we're just going to keep doing it, and we're just going to keep going around and around. And then as you can see here, I'm going to just kind of stop because I think you can get the gist of what we're doing. I just ended it with the pen there, and you just kind of go around till you have it all done. So that is the new center. So we're going to use that tonight, but we need to, let's see, I need some, of course, when I need some pipe cleaners, these are not the color I would normally use, but you're not going to see it, so it's okay. So I'm going to put the pipe cleaners crosswise right here. I'm going to get my glue gun out, and I am going to just, let's see, take a couple of Floral pens, and I'm going to go sideways. But if you're just jumping on, we're going to make a 12-inch wreath frame. And those you can actually find at like, oh, Michael's and Hobby Lobby and Joann's, you know. So I figured let's do a 12-inch frame, and then I can kind of explain to you, so when you do one of my wreaths and say you only have a 12-inch wreath frame, you can kind of go over experience of what you've seen me do. So I've put 2 pins at an angle, of course, because if we went straight through it, you'd see the ends of the pins. We don't want to do that. We are going to take a little scrap piece of felt, and I'm just going to put some glue on it. And by the way, if you're using those centers, and I'm going to show you at the end of the wreath, we're going to see what it looks like. And then I'm just going to put it over top of this, not me to speak correctly. And then I'm just going to take a few more of these pens, and I'm just going to go at an angle to ensure that that will stay. I like to be cautious here. So anyways, but there we go. So we're going to let that dry first. That's why I wanted to start this off first, because I needed that glue to dry. So we're going to put that, that's your new center you can use on all sorts of flowers, guys. So, all right. So let me do one thing. I know a lot of you always ask, how do you cut the mesh, and why do you cut it with a wood burner? Listen, mesh, anytime you cut it, mesh, poly burlap, my other mat is on this. Anytime you cut any of this stuff, it's going to fray. And so by using a wood burner, it just really kind of seals the ends and helps minimize the fraying. So I'm just going to show you how I do this. I'm just going to cut this mesh, and this is what we're going to use tonight. I got it at Joann Fabrics. And, oh, you're just going to go, and you know what, this just turned off. It wasn't on. So you would just go down all the way down here like this, and then this is the tip I use, but there's another tip you can use. It looks like a quill tip, and you can use that too, but I'm not going to be able to show you this now, so I'm going to put this to the side. You know, when you go live, not everything goes as planned, but that's okay, because I already had everything cut beforehand, okay? So we're just going to get rid of that and go on. So let's talk about frames. This is a 12-inch frame, and I normally do a 10-inch frame. Now, what's the difference? I know one's bigger than the other, but here, if you take this 10-inch frame and you put it over the 12-inch frame, okay, the distance between these brackets are about the same. So the only difference between a 10-inch frame and a 12-inch frame is that you have an extra bracket here, okay? So if you're making one of my flowers and you saw me do it on a 10-inch frame, to do it on a 12-inch frame, you're just going to have an extra bracket of petals. Now, you will have a bigger center. See how big the center is compared to here? Depending on how big your center is going to be is how big if you're going to need to go through here and do another row. So this is how big the center we're going to do, and so we're going to do a few things differently tonight to help compensate that. So let's get started. 12-inch frame, and all I did before I got on here tonight was just took a big piece of plastic canvas. You can get this in the yarn and the embroidery section, and I just put my frame on there. I drew a circle, cut it out, and then attached it with zip ties. Okay, so how are we going to do the first set of petals? Well, we're going to take some zip ties, and you've seen me do this in another video where we're going to use this wreath frame, let's see, what do you call that? The bar. And we're going to do that same petal that I showed you when we did the buffalo plaid. So this is, and at the end of this I'll put the, you know, everything at the end, all the supplies. If you're on YouTube and you're watching this, it's in the description box below. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a 10-inch roll. I'm using lavender tonight. And you're going to cut it by 10 inches. So 10 inches by 10 inches, okay? We are going to put the curved side up, and we are going to meet in the middle with our ends. We are going to just gather it, kind of like a bow tie. But right here, I'm going to bend them up and overlap them. And then I'm going to just take this and squeeze it, and I'm going to attach it to my frame right here. So, yes, consumercrafts.com. You can get frames there as well. So we're just going to keep doing this, and I'm just going to show you how fast that this can go. I'm going to do it slow again, but you're just going to gather it there, put your fingers and just pull them this way, and then you're just going to lay one on top of the other, and you're going to grab it, and you're just going to put it on your frame like so. So how many are we going to put for each section? Because we talk about sections on our wreath frame. We're going to put one at each of the bars and two in between, just like the buffalo plaid wreaths that I've been doing lately for you. So I'm going to do another one here because I'm doing two in the middle, and I'm just going to show you how fast that this can go. Once you get this technique down, it'll go really fast. And I'm just going to leave these zip ties until I get to the end, and then we'll cut them all off. So, tell me if it's spring where you are, what's the weather like? We're lucky to be in the 40s today, so I'm thankful for that. Yep, Denise, that's right. 725, that sounds right. The jumbo, it's the jumbo Snowdrift flex tubing for 725. And really, I think that you could do that with, you could try other tubing. If you have some tubing at home, you could try something different. You could even braid tubing and do the same thing. You know what I mean? You could just do so many different things with it. You could twist it and put it together. So we already did one section. Now we're on to the second section. And then I'm going to show you some mesh. The mesh that we're going to use tonight, I got at Joann Fabrics. And it's probably their spring decor, but really you don't have to use that mesh. You could use any pretty decorative mesh that you like. Maybe you have some at home that you wanted to try and you weren't sure what to do. A lot of them, when they're really light in color, it's hard to see, and I think when you put it with this poly burlap, it just shows the design so much better. So anyway, so this week I just released a new tutorial. I do tutorials on my Facebook page like right now and on YouTube, but I also have premium tutorials, and I know that a lot of you have probably already bought them. I appreciate that. You guys are great. But I just released a new one, and it's called Julie's Wreath Boutique Flower Collection. And I really like how it turned out. I love the center, and I even did a kind of a bonus tutorial on how to do that center and make it like a wall hanging. And then we did another kind of take on the petal at the end of that video. So that's for sale in my Etsy shop if you want to learn how to do some even premium wreaths. You might hear my dog right now. He thinks that somebody's coming downstairs. He's my watchdog. He's 12 years old. So anyways, go lay down, Riley. Go lay down. So as you can see, I'm just kind of going along here, but that link is in the description box too for that tutorial. I sell a lot of wreaths. I found out today that one of my wreaths went to a diplomatic address, and they got the wreath and it went to Kenya. And I thought, how cool is that? My wreath is hanging up in Kenya. You know, I have them in Australia and different places around the world, and it's just really neat. So usually the wreath tutorials that I sell, those are tutorials and wreaths that I do sell a lot of. They're really good sellers for me. So, and I have private groups for some of those tutorials too. So my dog, I think he thinks somebody's coming and nobody's coming, but that's okay. He's my craft buddy. Let me tell you, when I'm down here, do you guys have a dog or a pet that has to be with you when you're crafting? I do. That's Riley. He's just kind of looking at me like, what are you doing, Mom? Who are you talking to? There's nobody in here. Maybe that's why he's growling. But as you can see, it goes really fast. Okay, so I'm almost to the last section here. I wonder how long that took me. And then we will start on the other petals that I wanted to do. And honestly, guys, I don't know what this is going to look like. I kind of had the idea in my head to kind of combine different petals again together, and I thought this mesh that I'm going to use is so pretty and it's so springy that I really needed to do it soon, because what I do is I tend to order stuff and then I'm like, oh, I don't have time to get it all done. Like right now I have like 18 orders, 19 orders to make, so I do keep it busy, let me tell you. We are making sunflowers all the time. We are making flowers all the time. I'm still making Christmas trees in March and snowman wreaths all the time. So, you know, I keep it busy. All right. One more, guys. So, how do you do this from I know it looks really big now, doesn't it? So this is a 12-inch frame. If you're just catching on here, I know a lot of you have been wanting to know, how do you do this on a 12-inch frame? So that's what I thought, you know, I'm going to just do it and just take the time to show you guys how to do that. And it makes a nice size wreath, let's be honest. At the end here, we'll decide if we're going to add leaves. You guys can tell me if we need to add leaves or not. So at this point, I'm just going to cut all these off. See, I'm not seeing all the comments. They kind of stopped on me here. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I'm trying to catch your comments. Sorry about that. The mesh is cut 10 inches. We're just doing 10 by 10 squares. Okay? So, we've got our base. So the next thing I want to do is show you the next petal technique we're going to do. So I'm going to take this and put this to the side. That is a nice size wreath, let me tell you. I'm going to show you, in the packaging it looks so much darker than when you pull it out, but this is what I used from Joann Fabrics. It's $9.99 a roll, but you get it when it's on sale like 40% or 50% off, okay? So when we pull it out though, you know, it's a lot lighter. You really can't see the purple. Can you see the purple in that? So what I did was I said, okay, and I've taught you this before, if you take a piece of poly burlap and you line it together, you can see the pattern more. So now you can see that there's a white check pattern and there's a, you know, kind of the buffalo plaid thing going on. So they had, the only two colors that they had were this, and they had this blue and white. So this is the other one. So go to Joann Fabrics if you are into this, and these were the colors that they had. So, but again, you can use any mesh you want, all right? So this is the petal we're going to make. This is the daisy petal, and my friend Trish DeStefano did this from Dean Michael Design. And so what I added was an extra layer of mesh. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a triangle. And get that out of the way. I see a little piece of lint there. And you're just going to start gathering it at the ends. And I've showed you this before. So you're going to take it, and you're going to take a zip tie, and you're just going to fasten it. And I'm going to show you how to do this again, okay? But I do have some already pre-made. So you're just going to fasten it. So at this point, I want my petal to kind of have an indentation. I want it to go like that. Can you see the difference? I want it to kind of be like that petal that kind of scoops up. You know, a scoop petal, I guess, is what you would call it. I don't know, but, you know, whatever works. So let me get the last piece of mesh here. And a piece of the purple. And you're going to make sure that you lay it, make sure it's curled side up, because you want that mesh to be the center of this. This is where, let's move this around a little bit. Okay. So you want it to kind of line up as good as you possibly can get, and you're just going to gather it at the edges here, okay? I'm going to take a zip tie, and you just do this. All right? And then that's when I kind of I manipulate the petal so that it gives that scoop look. All right, so let's get our wreath back in here. So let's put our wreath back. So at this point, I'm going to kind of look at this, and I want to connect it. Let's see here. I want it to lay a little bit more. This way, you could do one or two things. And I'm kind of looking at it from the back. Like I told you, I didn't do this. We could do it like this, and then we could do like this. But I want to make sure that these are covered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect it to the bottom wire. I'm going to put my zip tie down through here. Let's just do that first. Okay. You see where I've got it? I've got it at the bottom wire. And I'm not really sure how many we're going to use, but we're going to see. And if we need to cut more of the mesh, we will. All right, so there's the first one. And so now we're just going to go through here, and we're going to place petals all the way through. And I'm just going to place this one, oh, I don't know, about an inch or so apart, maybe a half an inch. Let's see how this lays. We'll tell you. Just want to lay it in there. Make sure I'm in the angle here for you. All right. For some reason, my comments aren't moving up. Okay. Thanks, Carrie. I'm glad you're watching. So we're going to just keep going. Yeah, this will be good. And as you can see, I'm kind of putting the zip tie on the outer inside of the wire, and then on the inside of the wire. I just kind of like that effect to make sure that we get it. Okay, and I just, well, that one's a little, I gotta turn this around. You have to make sure that when you put your zip ties on, they're going the right direction so they will hook. You know how zip ties hook. So, all right, and I'm putting it pretty, oh, I don't know, that's a little too close. Let's redo this one. Let's move this one over. And because I did it so tight, it doesn't want to do it now. Oh, come on. There we go. See how that's laying too much on that petal? I don't want it that close. So let's move it over here. Thanks, Dolly. I love this color too. I think it's pretty. This is my aunt's favorite color, and I always think of her when I make something like this. So, thinking of you, Aunt Marlene. All right. I'm thinking that we'll use about 10 petals on this side, or this row, I guess is what I want to say. But I don't know, we might end up doing more. We'll see. Hey, Rosalie. I'm glad you could join us. Alrighty. All right. Get another one. We might have to make a few more of these petals. At the end here, I can tell you how many we used. I know on the outer layer we used 18 petals. So this layer right here was 18 petals, so I know that much. So when we get to this one, we'll be able to tell you how many we did. Let's see, that's 5. So I just dropped the petal on the floor. Okay. So, all right, come on. Oh, Shell, I'm glad you could come on and watch me live tonight. I know. I didn't announce it because honestly, I just didn't know what my day would be like, guys. I've been so swamped with work, and then I know you guys have probably heard this. We've had a lot of sickness in our home, and so that, you don't want to do a live when you have the flu or a cold. So I haven't been on here to do lives like I have been wanting to. So anyways, but we're on here tonight. That's all that makes the difference, right? But yeah, so that's 6 petals. So I think we might, let's make sure that this is still on. Yep, that's on. Make sure my wood burner's on. We can make an extra few petals if we need to. And our center's already made. And at this point, they sell at Craft Outlet, they sell the bigger pre-made centers. Those yellow centers I'm going to show you at the end. They sell even bigger ones of these. So if you wanted to stop at this point and use one of those bigger centers, you could definitely do that too, easily. Yes, Donna, we are all feeling much better, thankfully. Yep. We are on the mend. So, all right, we're getting there. I'm anxious, just as you guys are, to see how this turns out. Because, like I said, I think this will work, and let's just do this. I didn't really have time to make it ahead of time. So, that's what happens when you go by the seat of your pants, I guess. So, I think this is really coming pretty. So, yes, Debbie, this could definitely be done on a 10-inch. I'm showing a 12-inch tonight, and I guess, of course, it can be done on a 10-inch. And that's what I would probably normally do, is a 10-inch. I like the 10-inch wreath frames. I like how they fit in the box. I think they're a nice size for your door. But here's the issue. You really can't find 10-inch wreath frames at most craft stores. It's usually 8-inch, 12-inch, 16-inch, 18-inch, right? So, and I don't like a big, huge wreath. I like a certain size, and it's, a 10-inch wreath frame. Usually you can get away with about 1 roll of poly burlap. So this is our last one here. So how many? Let's count. And we'll get a count so far of what you would need. So we have, let's see, 4, 8. So we did 12. So yeah, we're gonna have to cut some more because I only have 5 more petals. Grab this other one. So we will cut some more. So at this point, if you wanted to make a bigger center, you could do that. They sell these in a bigger, and I think that would be really pretty. But we're gonna take it to another level, and I think this would be pretty. You could do this on a 10-inch frame and just do one center of these petals, but we're not going to do that. We're going to take it another step. So I'm going to kind of put my, let's see, my dog's walking behind me. I'm going to put my zip tie right in front of these 2 petals, and I'm just going to lay it here and see how it looks. We're going to put our 5 on here and see how many more we need to make, okay? So I think that'll be pretty. Let's keep it going. Going to, so I'm pretty much putting the zip tie kind of at the edge of the end of the previous row is a good way to put it. So do you guys think we should put leaves on this? I don't know. I really like the green with this purple. So I don't know. You guys are going to have to tell me. Green leaves, yes or no? They're talking, let's see. I am not a fan of the paper mesh. Paper mesh, I did use it when I first started. It's going to fall apart. If you make somebody a wreath with paper mesh, it's just going to fall apart. So I really wouldn't use that. You can't use a wood burner on that, of course. You can't use a wood burner on regular burlap, so that would just burn it, and trust me, I've tried it. But poly burlap, jute, some jute mesh polys you can do, not all, but it just depends on the brand, honestly. It really depends on the brand that you're using. So by using a 12-inch, I'm adding an extra row of petals because I want the inside to be a little bit smaller than, you know, I don't want a huge middle. That's kind of my point. I'm just not into that huge middle look. But, you know, if you like it, go for it. You know, you're the one making the wreath. So, oh, my favorite mesh to work with would have to be poly burlap, by far. And I know that not everybody loves poly burlap, but I do. I love the durability of poly burlap for my wreaths. And I just love the fact that I feel like it lasts longer and it's just more a weather resistant thing. So as you can see, I put in our 5, so we're going to need at least 2, maybe 3. So let's cut a little bit more mesh again, and now you're going to get to see me cut my mesh. I get these glass boards from Amazon, and I'm going to move you guys over here, and I only need to cut the mesh because I already have the poly burlap cut. So now you're going to get to see this part, and then we will make a few more. Okay, so on my mat I have a little mark for the 10-inch, and that way I know I'm cutting the right spot. So as you can see, it's pretty simple. And you do get a smell, so you might want to wear a mask. As you can see, you might be able to see the smoke coming up from it. So I'm just going to cut one more because we're not going to need more than 3 petals. So I'm just going to cut it straight down. Turn it off. Always turn off your wood burner. So let's just quickly make 3 more petals, and like I said, it doesn't take no time at all to do, so easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That's what my 7-year-old says, my little girl. I'm gonna gather it. If you are just joining in, we gathered it at the end, and we went through this earlier in the video. All right. Okay. And then you're just going to take it and you're going to shape it. And you could do it the other way if you wanted to put on your wreath that way, or like I'm doing tonight. Kind of like I don't know, a buttercup, or what is that flower called? A buttercup flower, or not really. I'm not doing a water lily, but I don't know. What do water lilies? Are they white? So let me know. Let's see. In the middle of this wreath is plastic canvas. This live will be on replay on my Facebook page, and it will be uploaded to YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe, and get the notification. I'm trying to upload to YouTube, and I do have some more Facebook Lives that I am going to be kind of slowly putting back on YouTube. Some of them are my first live, so they're pretty rough, but I think you would enjoy some of them nonetheless. So, all right. This should be the last one, guys, and we'll put this on, and then our middle. But let's see, a 12-inch wreath frame is going to give you like a 26-inch wreath, I believe. Here, so let's get this back on. Get our zip tie. Put it right in there. Very simple to do. It's not hard at all. Okay. And I don't know, we may only just need one more petal. We'll see. I think just one more petal is going to be enough. All right. What do you guys think? Do you want to add, should we add some green leaves? Surely when you subscribe on YouTube, there's no fee. So this will be on YouTube. But let's see here. I do sell tutorials too. They're more of my premium wreaths, and I sell a lot of those wreaths, and I have a lot of people who buy my tutorials and they sell those wreaths too. So, and I have private groups for those too. I think that's really pretty. So I'm really liking how that turned out. So you could either do the one that we did tonight, which is what I'm going to put in it, or you could get these yellow ones and put that in it. I think that is really pretty. What do you guys think? I like that yellow. I'm almost tempted to put that yellow in it, but I haven't made the backing for it. So I'm a little, tell me in the comments if you like the white better or the yellow. But for right now, I'm going to put the white in. So tell me what you think I should sell it as, because I will sell this wreath. And I'm just going to move the mesh around. And this is probably where I should have used wire instead of a Chenelle stem here. But I'm going to just thread it down into that plastic canvas. I gotta find it first. Come on. There you go. We're just gonna thread it through. And I'll show you in a minute. So, ooh, I'm getting both white and yellow. That's good. So I'm not going to pull this too far down. I just kind of want it to sit there because I want it to kind of just be not sunken down into the wreath. So I'm just twisting the back. As you can see, I'm just twisting the back. That's it. And the back of it looks really nice too. So I usually just take a piece of felt and I poke holes in the felt and then I attach it with zip ties. So that is the finished wreath. But guys, I'm telling you, I think I need to do some leaves. So let's do a few leaves here. So let's flip it over. At this point, you could leave it like you want. You don't have to put the leaves. I'm going to put leaves. And I'm going to take my zip tie and I'm going to go through just by the brackets here. Okay, and I'm going to do it just like the petals. We're doing it just like the petals, see? And I'm going to just attach it that way, and then that way you can see what the green would look like. And then I'm just going to pull that way, okay? But I just think that, yeah, I just kind of like the green. Can you see the green sticking out? I just like a little bit of green sticking out. Oh, I love it. See, and I didn't even make this beforehand. I'm just thought I'm going to go live because I haven't gone live in a while for you guys. And I love it. Just think it's so pretty. So, anyways, but this will be on my YouTube channel, guys. So make sure you're subscribed. It's Julie's Wreath Boutique at everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, Julie's Wreath Boutique. And so make sure you're following me over on all those different platforms. On Etsy, I'm Julie's Wreath Boutique. If you're wanting to buy this wreath, I'll put it up for sale tomorrow, or message me tonight and I'll let you know how much it's going to cost. And anyways, but I think this would look so pretty. Like I said, you don't have to use this mesh from Joann Fabrics, but you could definitely use any really kind of pretty mesh that you have laying around. So we did what? We did 5, we did 7. So you would need 7 plus 12. So you would need 19 pieces. Is that right? I don't want to seem dumb. 19 pieces of mesh. This is for a 12-inch, okay? So you would need less for a 10-inch. And we did 12 plus 7, so 19 plus 18. So you're going to need 2 rolls of this a 10-inch poly burlap, whatever color you're wanting to do to kind of go with your, you know, your color. So make sure you join Wreath Creators and More. It's my Facebook group, and we love it. If you have a love of anything crafty, we would love to have you join. That's what we love. We like to be encouraging and to share your creations. Okay, so let's flip it over. Now I gotta play with my petals a little bit more. My dog's kind of going crazy again, but that's all right. But we're at the end here. I don't know how long we did tonight, but that's the way it turned out. I like a little bit of green sticking out. I think it's super, super cute, and you guys can see my iPad. But I hope you love it, and make sure you check out Wreath Creators and More. If you haven't bought a premium tutorial and you like the way I teach, I would love to have you buy one and join one of my private groups. It's just the cost of the tutorial. There's no fee for the groups. And in those groups, I have private lives and do a whole lot more for you. So you buy a tutorial one time, and that's all you have to buy. You don't have to buy anything else. So I will talk to you later, and have a wonderful evening, and I will see you on YouTube. And thanks for watching. Like and share and subscribe. Thanks. Bye-bye.